You are now listening to Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast Season 4. Chill! Yes, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. And at the time, I got my special guest. It's funny because she's been on my show earlier this season. She actually interviewed me earlier this season. She also was on my show. Well, this is her third time on the show. But this time around, she is now a podcast host. She got a podcast show called What the F is Niah. We got Niah in the building. Niah, how you doing? Welcome back on the show.
Thank you. I am so happy to be here 3 times a charm. So yes, I'm excited.
Yes, welcome back. And I'm gonna say you're killing it on your podcast show, but we're gonna talk more about that a little later. But for those that missed the first interview, let them know, where are you from?
I am from Crown Heights, Brooklyn, New York, born and raised. So you know what it is. The home of the Labor Day parade and all that good stuff.
You already know. Crown Heights in the building. I'm Crown Heights as well. So you already know. Same thing. You already know. So I believe actually this one last episode too. But let them know again. How would they describe you as a person?
I am a pretty savage, meaning I am laid back. Yet, I like to just chill in the house for the most part. I'm a homebody, but yet I still know how to have fun. But it's more so, I have to make sure that I can vibe with people in order to have fun. Otherwise, I'm just, reading a person.
Nice. So we're gonna get a little different this time. So let's talk about your beginning of life. Like, how was you growing up as a kid, and how were you growing up?
So growing up, my background, my mom side of the family, they're Panamanian. My dad's side, they're from South Carolina. So it was like a mesh between 2 different cultures. So in the middle of it was, my mom, she was a school teacher, whereas my dad, he was like, a street dude. So it was like just trying to mesh those 2 personalities. And it kind of served me good because I like to consider myself book smarts as well as street smarts. But my mom, she exposed me to dance class, being born and raised in Crown Heights, Brooklyn. It's this dance troupe called KS Jam. Shout out to Kashani. He was like the dance instructor, and we all have like these huge recitals, in June, and it was like a dope thing. And then I was a fresh air fun kid. So, being, in a city child, going to the suburban areas, it was like, it kind of enlightened me into things that, okay, if I work hard, I can get this house and I can have this pool. So, I'm a mesh. I'm like a big old, I can fit in anywhere.
Nice. And nice. And everything you've been through as a kid, how that make you the person you are today?
What makes me the person that I am today is that, I understand people. Whereas a lot of people, they don't get that experience until they go away to college and they're around people that have different backgrounds from them. Whereas I was exposed at an earlier age, being a fresh air fun kid and, being with my Italian side of the family, which I consider like family to me now, it made me have a clearer understanding on who the fuck people were and are. And I think, I'm real big on alignment. So just reflecting back on, my childhood years and, now present, it's, I understand the excitement.
Okay, nice. And it's crazy because we knew each other, I guess you could say, for childhood as well, sort of. We went to a school together called niah 35.
Shout out to 35, the Clearpool School.
Back. So I want to know, do you remember how we met though during that time?
I know your sister and you, both were in 35. So I believe your sister, she was like a year younger than us or so. I'm not too sure. So I remember seeing you. If I'm not mistaken, Mr. Smith was your homeroom teacher.
For eighth grade.
Biddy.
Yeah.
So I remember you from there, so yeah, I remember you. And it's so crazy because I sworn you went to the same high school as me, but you told me that you went to the Robe. So,
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with the Robe. But I remember you from 35.
Yeah. I know for me, I do got a good memory. So I'm gonna see if I'm right. I know in seventh grade, what class you was in seventh grade?
I was in my homeroom teacher was Mr. Quinn. That was 701, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so I do remember. All right, so I remember one time that I was in 705. That was all the news kids, which was bad. And I remember our teacher would not did one thing, so they split everybody up. Mm-hmm. And they put me in 701 in seventh grade, and I think that when I met you guys, I was mad quiet. Cause I remember everybody came to me like, "Why you so quiet?" And talk to me like and stuff like that. And I was just quiet, like I was always stay quiet. And then they did the same thing in eighth grade, and you was in 7802 because you was in
Mr. Underwood. Yes.
Yeah, and did the same thing, and apparently I was dating somebody in that class. I won't say the name. I won't say the name.
No names.
No names. But yeah, it was a lot of crazy drama behind that. But yeah, it was fun times in 35. It was fun time. I mean, I'm glad I got to know you and stuff. Yes. And it's good that we both were shy and we both doing big things now.
Yes. I was always shy, but I knew people from around the way. And then my best friend at the time, she was she was real popular. So it was we were literally night and day. So it was I was just cool, calm, and collective, but it was I had to kind of handle her. So we balanced each other out. So that's dope.
Yeah, that is dope. So what was your favorite memory from 35?
So my favorite memory from 35, I started going, it's a it's an elementary / middle school. Yeah. So I started going to 35, I would say 4th grade from my understanding. And it was this camp out in Carmel, New York. So what they used to do was every other month or so, the children, after the parents sign the permission slips, we'll go away to Carmel, New York. And it was like a sleepaway camp for the weekend. It was like a cool weekend trip. They used to have it in the summer, but I didn't get a chance to experience that because I was in Fresh Air Fund during the summer. But during the weekends, we had our cruise. It was like the yellow cheese bus. So we'll be ready and preparing. We'll have our outfits for the weekend. And, everyone had a boyfriend. So it was it was cool because it exposed us to, more things. They had hiking and we used to do the campfires. It was one of the counselors. Her name was Barbara. I never forget her. And we used to just sit by, in a in a lobby, and we used to just do make songs. It was a good experience, especially for inner city kids, exposing them to something different. So I never forget that. It was really cool. And then they had Family Day one year. So my family came and they got to meet all the camp counselors out there. And it was a dope experience. So that was something that I was grateful to experience while going to 35.
Nice, man. And it's crazy. I remember a lot of people talking about the caramel thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I never went. I wish I would have had that.
You would have loved it. You would have loved it. We had a good time.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about the reason why you came on the show, because now you got a podcast show now.
Yes,
and we're gonna talk about what the effort Nana. But my question is, what inspired you to start a podcast?
Okay, so what inspired me to start a podcast are people like you, as far as I always say, you gave me my start, as far as you allowed me to be on your platform and speak to your listeners, and I got a great response from it. The feedback was amazing, and it kind of opened me up, but at the same time I was still not sure because, like I said, I am more reserved, I'm quiet to a sense. So it was just I don't know, but just sitting back and just thinking okay, I'm an underdog, right? And literally we are sitting on talent, but yet we're just so afraid of the unknown. So it was something about just facing fears and just, walking by faith for the most part.
Yes, and I'm glad you put out your podcast show, and I do listen to it. So tell them about what the F is niah, and how you came with the idea and everything like that.
Okay, so I initially came up with the idea from, being on your podcast twice. So it was something that, I thought about, but, by the time I reached the second episode that I featured on with you, I already, explained to you like, okay, I think I'm ready. So more so it was about, the name came from just like, like I mentioned before, I'm shy. So what the F is more so like, who the F is she? So it's like, my name is Nana. So it was just like, all right, who is this girl? What is she about? So my initial thing was just to, it was just a platform for listeners to just relate throughout my experiences through, each episode, and just taking them on that journey of, complete realness and, being transparent, and hopefully, one of the listeners can relate and be like, oh, okay, I've been through a similar situation, or wow, okay, a part of your chapter is not the complete story. So, I just thought that it was just a need for that, as far as like from a woman's perspective, growing up in the inner city and just not allowing life circumstances to determine and define who you are as a woman, or just in general.
Yeah, dope. And like I said, I heard your show. You're doing an amazing job. You're killing that right now.
Thank you.
And I'm looking forward for even being a guest on your show.
Yes, I'm excited. I have something cooking up. We'll go into that a little later on.
Oh man. And if y'all heard my show where she was the guest host, yeah, she's a good host, y'all. And let my listeners know where can they listen to your show.
Okay, so you can listen to Who the F is Niah on the Anchor app. It's on Spotify. It's on, I'm trying to put it on YouTube. Like I said, I'm just taking baby steps. So everything is more so in increments right now. But, it's going. It's been what? I first debuted my episode on 1/28th, which is my birthday. So it's getting there. It's my second baby. So the beauty is just watching it from the ground up. So I'm just, I'm so elated to just, go through this journey, and have my listeners and people on social platforms just, watch and, as well as share their stories throughout my process.
Yes, and like I said, you're killing it. So you mentioned your birthday. You released your first episode on your birthday. Like, how were you feeling when you released that first episode? Like, what was going through your mind?
I'm not gonna even lie, y'all. Like, I was so nervous. I was like, should I not? But every year, I consider my birthday my new year. So every year I try to start something new. So it was like, okay, Niah, what are you trying to do this chapter of your life? Because each year for me represents a chapter. So my thing was just being fearless and just going with the flow and walking by faith. So, I was nervous, but at the same time, I said, you know what? Real is going to recognize real. So, it's moments, it's things that I shared on episodes that I probably wouldn't have shared had it not been on, a podcast. Yeah. So it was just, allowing me to just be me and just do me in a complete natural element. And, hopefully a listener will relate to the stories and say, okay, oh, wow, okay. This sounds like me,
yeah.
Or just relate for the most part by being complete transparent.
Yeah, definitely agree. And like I said, keep doing your thing. Keep doing your thing.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So who are your dream guests? Like, name your top 3 people that you want on your show. Who is your dream guest?
Okay, so one of my dream guests is, you remember back in the days we had Miss Jones on Hot 97, right?
Yeah.
So Miss Jones is actually like one of my dream guests. And my reason for her being a dream guest is because she just took risks. She took risks in an era where there weren't any shade rooms, there weren't any blog sites for that nature. And she just took risks, whereas, you know, a lot of disc jockeys, they were afraid to go against the grain with certain things. Like I was reading something on her, whereas when Nas and Jay-Z, they were going through their thing, and no one wanted to interview Nas to hear his side of the story. And she was like, yo, I'm from Queens. He from Queens. I got to represent him because he is me and I am him.
Oh, yeah.
So it was just like, for a woman, you know, in a male-dominated industry to just say, you know what? If it's going to cause me to lose, you know, listeners or for certain connections to be broken, hey, I have to put this story out there. So I thought that was just amazing. So I would love to just kind of hear her perspective in the present time and see how her thoughts and her feelings were during that time and what she learned from that experience.
That would be dope. That would be dope.
Yeah.
Hear her point of view. I remember when that time happened, Nas went to Power 105.
Yes.
And stuff like that. So yeah, it would have been dope that she could have interviewed Nas. That would have been dope.
Yeah, because, you know, people are so like, oh my God, no. But if you're going to do something, you're going to have to do it all the way in. So exactly, it was like, listen, I have to get this out. He's frustrated. He needs a platform, whereas he can express, you know, how he felt at that time. Because if we're just constantly hearing from one side and we don't get the other side of the story, we cannot paint the picture 100% because we're just using one perspective. So I thought that was dope what she did.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. That was dope. And also, shout out to Nas.
Shout out to Nas and Jay-Z. Jay is actually my favorite rapper of all time. So, you know, I'm happy that they were able to squash that beef, but it was, you know, it was definitely needed for his voice to be heard at that time.
I agree. And also, funny thing, Nas got a new album out right now, too.
Yes.
King Disease, too.
Yes, I have to check it out. Check it out. King Disease was actually good. Spicy and Car 85 are actually my favorites from that album. Yeah. I like it. Like, he gives that classic New York vibe. Like, he's very intelligent. Love him. I love Jay too. That's my favorite. Nas got an album off that King Disease one. So he got a Grammy. He got a Grammy. Well deserved.
I agree. Really
long overdue.
I agree. But if you had to pick two more guests, who would it be? If you had to pick top three.
Okay, so number 2 would definitely be you. My reason because, yes, it would be you. That's right, y'all heard.
Okay.
And it's more so because you inspired me to get out of my shell. And you kind of broke my podcast virginity. So I definitely, like I said, you didn't have to bring me on your show. Like I mentioned before, I wasn't someone that had like a huge following, but you allowed me to be on your platform and express how I feel, whether it was dating or just, you know, people getting to know who I am. So I would definitely... I'm excited to, like, you know, we have to set something up where you can come up on Who the F is Niah, so that way my listeners can also, you know how that process went. So definitely you're number 2.
I appreciate that. Wow, I appreciate that. And we definitely gotta let that happen. I'm not gonna be nervous.
It's gonna happen. God willing, it will.
Well, y'all hear it here first.
Yes, y'all heard it first.
But the other Nana coming real soon.
Yes, most definitely. And my third top 3 guests, it would have to be a listener who became inspired by just hearing my stories on my podcast and understood the assignment, meaning understood why I started this, understanding that, it's never too late to go after certain goals, whether, you have other titles, but you always want to just leave space for you and just come on a show to just express like, wow, just listening to your episodes, you inspired me to, it doesn't even have to be like in a podcast field. It's more so just inspiring a person to, no matter what adversity, I'm getting so tongue tied. I don't know why I'm nervous. No matter what tribulations that you went through, continue to just focus on your focus, because eventually God will align you to where you need to be. So the third would definitely be, a listener. It has to, that's what I'm about. I just want to, inspire someone to just be who they are and be damn good at it.
Okay, nice. Those good choices. nice. So, and what is your goal for your podcast shows? Like, what's your goal for your podcast?
So my goal for my podcast is just continuing being me, being 100% transparent, being 100% real, providing opportunities for people to tell their stories, and just, we see, the ending result, right?
Yeah.
But I want to go into your background, what made you become who the F you are, today. And I feel like sometimes, you can inspire someone not by what you achieve, but, what you went throughout life. Because it's a little girl or it's a little boy that's probably going through the same thing that you went through 10, 15 years ago, right? That's and true. If they listen to that story, they know that, let me just keep going. Let me just, I can't give up because she been through this or he been through that. But yet that person still was able to focus on what they needed to focus on to be who they are today. So that's like the main thing for me. Like, I'm so like, I'm very passionate with youth at risk, and this is going to lead into something big. I just know it is.
It is. Just be consistent, keep going hard, and just don't give up. And it's definitely gonna work in your favor. Trust me.
Most definitely. I appreciate it.
I believe that.
Thank you.
So we're gonna switch up a little bit.
Okay.
We're gonna get a little bit serious. As you know, we are in a pandemic. I guess we're still in a pandemic. I don't know if it's getting better or getting worse.
I don't know.
but how do you feel? How did the pandemic affect you? And what had this pandemic taught you?
Okay. So it affected me in ways of, just not knowing what's going to happen next. Just being uncomfortable because, we're comfortable with our daily routines. We're comfortable with, this and that. But just every day is just something new. Whereas, it kind of forced me to get into my creative mindset. Whereas, yes, I was grateful. I was one of the essential workers that, didn't lose their job by the grace of God. But at the same time, it just made me kind of look within and just say, what the F it is that I want, Yes, I have this career. Yes, I'm a great mom. But at the same time, it was just something missing. And it was just like, I need to inspire people on a different platform. So having a podcast and being in alignment with just being a guest feature on your show, it kind of, it brought me to where I'm at now. Whereas, we're still in our early stages of my podcast, but at the same time, it's just like, it's something that I enjoy doing. It's something that, I can't wait. Like when I took that 2-month off, going from season 1 into the Ladies Night series that I have now, it was just like, I can't wait to get back into that space. I can't wait because I love connecting with people. I love hearing the stories. So now this is just something like just, being a voice, whereas I'm the voice for the underdogs for the most part. Yes. And I feel like, going through such a trying year last year, it allowed me to understand, this is something that you can just present to your peers or just people in inner city boroughs or just people, it doesn't necessarily mean being in an inner city borough, but just people that don't know what's next or had setbacks and, ends up getting those big W's or in the process of getting it,
Agree. And what did it taught you?
It taught me to just have patience and just, walk by faith and not by sight. Just, it's okay to be uncomfortable. It's okay to not know the next move, but at the same time, just having, being big on faith and just knowing that, things happen for a reason. So, I'm not going to front and sit up here and say, oh, I knew, I was going to do this podcast. No, I was actually afraid of doing a podcast because it was like, I don't have a huge following, but at the same time, me being who I am is going to allow certain things to open up, by being transparent. You just never know who's listening, and who's watching. So I'm excited for what's in store next.
and I'm excited for you because, like I said, I enjoy your show.
Thank you. I enjoy your shows.
And shout out to everybody who had a business born during the pandemic. Or y'all killing right now. You want to say that?
Yes, definitely.
Yes. And so let's switch back to more positive stuff. All right. So what is your dream venture? Something that you always want to do?
Okay, so my dream venture is, I don't really like telling people like my next moves, right?
Yeah, I don't believe you.
Since you are Ken, I'm going to just, my whole goal is, I'm a social worker and the population that I work with is domestic violence survivors, right?
Yeah.
But my main goal is to work with youth at risk to start my own nonprofit organization. So it's more so like with Who the F is Niah and, being a social worker, everything is going to kind of mesh together because the ultimate goal for me is to serve my community. Whereas, I was fortunate enough to go away to school and, get an education. Whereas I know exactly what is needed in the communities. And I feel like in order for you to really 100% understand what the people need, you had to experience those same situations. So I experienced, being on public assistance in my younger years. I experienced, I'm a girl from the projects. So I experienced being born and raised in one of the toughest projects in Brooklyn and, being an inner city kid and being in those public schools. So I know exactly what's needed for those children. Yes, times change, but at the same time, just implementing my skills and just bringing on what I feel like people need. So that way we can just change certain things because a lot of people, I'm not going to even front. Like in this social service field, a lot of people, they go off of quotas. Whereas, okay, long as we have these numbers in, that's all that matters. But my thing is, I don't want to worry about just numbers and, okay, this is the amount of things that we have. It's more so about what is it that you're doing to, to inspire someone that's going through a situation. And I feel like we forget about the people and it's all about the numbers.
Yeah.
Yes, business is business. Granted, we have to get things moving, but at the same time, if we have to serve the people, this is what we need to do. Make sure that they're good so that way we can end these repetitive cycles.
Yes.
So like with children, for me, it's more so like, a lot of children, they don't have those role models because we're dealing with adults that didn't get a chance to address their childhood traumas. So it's like from going into, speaking with children, how are you doing? How are you feeling? And I think I mentioned this in your podcast that I was featured on back in November, if I'm not mistaken. Whereas, we were so busy as adults thinking about how it affected us.
Yeah.
But we had to, go back and ask our children, how did you feel, just being uprooted from school? I believe the pandemic started March 15th. That was during a time where, children were getting ready for citywide tests, getting ready for their proms and things of that nature. So it was like for them to get uprooted, and it was just more so the school systems didn't know what to do. It was more so a day-to-day basics. It was, we didn't really have those conversations with the children to see how they were affected by that, not being around their friends. We were young, so it's like we look forward to school at times, whereas especially Easter, you want to show up your Easter outfit and things of that nature, or just hanging out with your friends from being on complete quarantine because we have to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
no, go on. I'm sorry.
No. Keep going.
So it's like, with children, I just want to see what they need, because they are the future. So we have to make sure that their childhood is straight in order for our future to be straight. Because if the kids ain't straight, then the future is not going to be straight, and then we're going to keep on repeating certain things. We have to learn how to, I always say, like just being born in poverty or just inner city barrels, we have to unlearn things that we thought were normal. So that way we can understand, okay, trauma is not normal, whereas children, I have being in my 30s, I hear stories of people that I grew up with that passed away. And it's like, okay, but that's trauma. So we have to get to the children to see, okay, what is it that we have to do for our kids? So that way, we can change the dynamics of, it's nothing wrong with being from the city. I feel like it's great. But at the same time, we are exposing our children to trauma at an earlier age than what the next person is. Yet, we need those resources. So I feel like people, in social work, you have to kind of know exactly what it is that the community needs. So, me, that's my passion. So I'm going to give it my all to just make sure. I don't want to be the most popular person in the world, but behind the scenes, I want to know, okay, I changed this person's life for the better, or help, by giving them the tools that they need to succeed. And I'm very passionate about it. And I could go on and on, but I'm not going to even do that.
And, no, you definitely got to make that happen. That's really dope. Like, do it for the people, do it for the kids. Definitely make that happen. I know it is gonna happen. Keep aiming for that and make it happen. Cause I believe in you, and I know it's gonna happen.
Thank you.
All right. So what other projects that you got going on?
So I'm just networking. It's big for me to network, because more so, like I said, I'm a homebody. I'm more so, okay, just chill, lay back, cool. I'll go out for brunch or a birthday dinner, whatever the case may be. So just, getting myself out there and just networking with small business owners, and, just seeing exactly, how they're doing and hearing their stories. So I'm excited. But the next thing I am going to, if those who want to listen to my podcast, Who the F is Niah, I'm currently in my Ladies Night series. So the next series will be dedicated to the men, whereas I want to connect with the men, and just listen to their stories and, understand, who they are. And I think that would be very, very interesting. And I'm excited. So I can't wait for that. But, ladies first.
so random question. Yes. So the Lady Night series, is it a season 2 or is it like a spinoff?
So it's more so, this is like the series. So it's just like, I would say I'm going to go 5 episodes in with this Ladies Night series. It's not going to be a long stretch like the first season, whereas I had 15 episodes. And then I'm going to dive into the men's series. After that, I'm going to kind of combine certain women that were featured on the Ladies Night series with certain men that were featured, on the future Men's Night series. And, it's going to be a deeper connection, and we're going to converse about, certain issues and things. So I'm excited to see how that's going to go.
Okay, nice, man. I look forward to that as well.
Yes.
Like I said, you're doing an amazing job. Keep doing your thing.
Thank you. Keep doing your thing too.
Thank you.
You're doing your thing.
Thank you. And what do you have to say for anybody going the same route with you? Like, say something inspirational of why you started the podcast and stuff. Let's give people some inspiring words.
The main thing is just focusing on your focus. Don't focus on what the next person is doing or how they did it, or, just focus on your focus, stay prayed up, and eventually things will just start, coming into alignment with you, and just do you for the most part. I'm going to keep it simple like that. Do you. It's going to be naysayers and saying, oh, you can't do that. You got to just stay focused on a goal, and you'll be fine.
Yes. Fact. So before you go, we're gonna play a game.
Okay.
We're gonna play a segment game called 5 Random Topics.
Oh my God, I'm nervous.
So we'll ask you 5 topics, and you give me a response on that topic.
Okay, I'm down.
Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, don't worry. The first one is very easy. I think I know the answer. I think I know the answer to this first one. Okay, what is your favorite era of music?
You tell me.
Old school 90s R&B.
Yes. See, Ken be knowing. He be knowing.
I mean that's the easy one. That's the easy one.
Yes.
All right. Next one is, what is your all-time favorite movie?
Oh my God, that's hard. And this might sound cliche, but it is Loving Basketball. And I don't know how to play basketball, by the way, but I love Loving Basketball.
I think a lot of people love Loving Basketball.
The soundtrack was amazing also. I love it. I went to the movies at 12 to watch it also, but love it.
Classic.
Yes.
All right, so what is one place you wish you could go?
Dubai.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay, what is one thing that you would change about yourself?
Old me would say just being too nice, but at the same time, being, a podcaster now and just being myself, I just feel like I don't want to change anything, because I feel like, life made me who I am today.
Yeah.
So I just feel like, you learn as you grow. Like, it'll be a completely different version of who I am on an advanced level in the next year. So I wouldn't even say like just being too nice, because I am me because of me.
Yeah, definitely. There you go. And last one, I had another question for this last one, but I'm gonna change it up a little bit.
Okay.
Especially after this week, I have to change this up. What were your favorite verses? Give me your top 3.
All right. So I'm a big 90s R&B fan, right? So of course I'm gonna say Monica and Brandy. I'm not gonna say who was side I was on, but they both collectively are great. Yeah. So I enjoyed that. My second verse is he got me on the spot. I would say it was a lot of 90s R&B, and I love 90s R&B, but I want to be fair and kind of change it up. So I would say the second would be Bow Wow versus Soulja Boy. Giving it up for the 99 2000s.
True.
106 and Park days. For those that know, y'all know.
True.
And third would be DMX and Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that was
because it gave us the opportunity to see OGs in the game. But can I get a bonus, because it wouldn't be right to not say, Jada been doing his thing, Yeah. So I'm so excited that I'm seeing that he's getting the flowers that he long overdue deserve now, because people witness, okay, wow, like he didn't have to be like a pop artist and things of that nature to kind of fit in, but lyrically wise, what?
Yeah,
come on. And I love Dipset. I was saying that before, like I was a Dipset fan, and I'm still am. I love Dipset. They did very well for the culture, but you know, we got to just give it to who deserve it, and that's my boy Jada. I'm a little corny. I was trying, y'all.
and I agree, Jada, he killed it. Remember, in my job, Jada the first person to do a verse twice, went solo and in a group.
Yes. So,
and I agree, he is giving his flowers now. He definitely deserves it. I agree.
Yes. He was playing the classics.
he was going in. I was shocked.
But they did good, because like one of my favorite Dipset songs is "I'm Ready." Yeah. So I was hyped to like listen to that. So they did their thing both. But Jada, like, you know, he's been in the game a little longer, and you know, he did his thing. But I enjoyed it both. They both put on for New York City, so I appreciate it.
I agree. I enjoyed both, but you know, the locks they killed it.
Yes, they did.
I agree. Well, you know, Niah, thank you for coming on the show. You're killing it. You're killing it with What the F with Nana, and keep doing your thing. You know, I'm supporting you. I believe in you. Keep doing your thing.
I really appreciate it. Like, I just want to let your listeners know that you have been extremely supportive during this process of, you know, from the beginning of me starting my podcast. So I really appreciate it. Like, it's not too many people that would just say, oh, hey, what's up? How you doing? Like, check in to see how I'm going with the podcast. So I really appreciate it. And, you know, I'm so happy to be a guest feature for the third time. 3 times is a charm. So I'm very appreciative of just, you know, vibing with you and, you know, just catching up. And I can't wait to have you feature on my podcast. And, you know, we gonna vibe, and I'm gonna hit you with the questions too.
I mean, you did the last time. So
yes, sure did.
And I'm looking forward to that when that happens. But, you know, for now, before you go, drop your social media where they can reach you, and drop where they can listen to your podcast show, What the F with Nana.
Hey, everyone. This is your girl, Niah Rumay from Who the F is Nana. And you can catch me on IG at WTF_IZ_NANA. You can hit me up on Anchor as well, Who the F is Nana. And just Spotify and all that good stuff. So I'm very appreciative for Ken to allow me to be on his show again. Like, he's a real one for real, for just like, you know, behind the scenes. Like, he's been really inspiring me to just keep on going. So I really appreciate that. And, you know, we'll speak soon.
Yes. And thank you for that. And I'm glad that I helped you. I didn't know I was doing that, but I'm glad I helped you.
Yes, definitely. Really like every little thing counts with me, and I never forget people that just, you know, reach out, see how I'm doing. It's just a simple, hey, how's everything? It means a lot. The smallest things means a lot to me.
Yeah, it does. I agree with you on that. But once again, thank you for coming on the show again, and we'll be right back.
Yeah.
You are now listening to Mr. Gentleman Lifestyle Podcast Season 4. Cheer!